here we go again, right? So we all went through this in 2014 and 2015 and 2016, and it wasn't just Gamergate. You didn't have to be a member of some hashtag campaign or ever be on Twitter or any of these social media sites, but anybody who's had to encounter anybody else on social media had to deal with this manufactured shit, which all started when a bunch of colluding feminist bloggers and news journalists all colluded to, at virtually the same time, release a bazillion articles of gamers are dead. Gamers don't have to be your audience anymore. And why are gamers not your audience? Because all gamers, the hundreds of millions of people all around the fucking world who are gamers, are all straight, white teenagers in their mother's basement, or 30-somethings in the same situation. No gamer has a job. No gamer is an attractive person. No gamer is a good person. All gamers are people calling women bitches on Call of Duty. All of us. All of us. And then they told us half of all gamers are women. None of that is true. Absolutely none of that is true. The one piece of shit study that claims that 47% of gamers are women includes things like Farmville on Facebook, Bejeweled, Candy Crush, Kim Kardashian's dress up on your fucking phone, Solitaire makes you a gamer. But, at the same time, all gamers are ugly, unfuckable incels in their mother's basement. Okay. We're about to go through that again. We're going through it right now with comic books. Comicsgate is already a thing, and it's the same thing. Only in Comicsgate, unlike gaming, the feminists won. Like, comics is dead. Except for, if you want to take the diversity in comics guy and Ethan Van Sciver making their own crowdfunded comics and making really good money doing it. Because it's very clear that despite the success of feminists taking over Marvel Comics, and they're about to successfully topple DC Comics as well, and all the other independent ones I don't know the fucking name of, like Image Comics are long since dead. You know, they killed those first. But still, the consumers are not buying that shit. The same reason why, at least for a multi-billion-dollar industry like gaming, they can't sell out completely to the feminists, or the bottom will fall out of the industry, because the only thing that's keeping Marvel Comics afloat is that it's owned by Disney, and Disney doesn't have to give a shit and can just operate the comics at a loss, even though they're having to repeatedly fire the freakish progressives that they've, talentless freakish progressives that they've hired to make these issues. Well, now we're seeing it in tabletop gaming. And tabletop gaming, the sexism in tabletop gaming is fucking hilarious. Do any of you people know what freedom of association is? Now, keep in mind, so many games, video games, are single player, as in you play them by yourself, with yourself. There's no one around to be toxic to you, except for you. We're now experiencing that same issue of how is there anyone to fuck with you if you're just, what, are you getting fucked with at the store? Nobody's fucking with you at the store, don't lie. What are you going to cons or something? Yeah, a lot of fucking freaks show up to cons. No, not everybody has the best time at cons, and there's always weirdos at cons. I've never been to a con. I've never fucked with anybody at a con or been fucked with at a con because I don't go to conventions. Like, where are you seeing this problem? Now we got tabletop gaming. Now get this. You play tabletop gaming with an isolated group of people. There's the DM, you, and the other people playing the game. And no one else. Now, if you want to go take the risk of playing with strangers at cons, yeah, there's a lot of cons that do that. Oh, okay. You can freely do that or not do that. But now there is, with the arrival of Anita Sarkeesian at Gen Con, which is a major convention for tabletop gaming, we now have a slew of articles saying tabletop role players are dead. Tabletop role players don't have to be your audience anymore. All tabletop role players are toxic males who hate women, who are total misogynists and chauvinists, and they're all unfuckable incel 30-somethings in their mother's basement. Which might be slightly closer to the truth for tabletop gamers. I kid. All sorts of people play tabletop gaming. Now, I've only done it a little bit, and I enjoyed it. It's a huge pain in the ass, and to me, the only thing toxic about tabletop gaming is asking 6 people to all get together, to commit, to not completely just, like, marry Sue or make a worthless character and not really contribute to the role-playing part of the game, and you need the DM to not suck ass at his job, which is a difficult job, and then everybody has to get together and sit still and focus on this thing for at least 3 hours a week if you're ever going to get anything done. And everybody's schedules have to sync up. That's what's toxic about tabletop gaming, is that it's miserably fucking hard to organize. But there's nothing discriminatory in that. And ultimately, you have freedom of association. You choose to play with the people you play with. And if you play with toxic people, maybe you should stop. But that doesn't matter. No. See, tabletop gaming has a sexism problem that is ubiquitous. It's a line, a thread throughout the entirety of the experience. Everywhere you go, it's sexist, it's misogynist, and it's demeaning to women, and you're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You are lying to me. And even if you're telling the truth that you've had multiple bad experiences tabletop role-playing, you're playing with the wrong people. Stop doing that. And now with the advent of the internet, there's Roll20.net. Unfortunately, the guy who runs Roll20.net is a feminist cum dumpster fucking douchebag. But if you don't do anything to make some feminist report you to this cunt who just fucking bans people and deletes their accounts just because they were accused of sexism or some shit, if you manage to avoid that problem, and, even though he's banned people for saying, hey, we only want men in this game, sorry. Like, you don't have freedom of association on his website, so maybe I spoke too soon. However, it's not the only website that you can play tabletop games on online. So the fact that, especially for a feminist, on a feminist-friendly website like Roll20.net, you can play with anyone around the fucking world. Again, allotting for how much of a pain in the ass it is to run a game. But it's a totally doable thing. You can play with whoever you want. Play with people who aren't cunts, okay? There, your problem solved. There is no overarching horrible problem in tabletop gaming. Once again, you are a fucking liar. And why are you a fucking liar? Because you're a progressive feminist, social justice warrior, fucking female supremacist, fucking piece of shit. And you're complaining about sexism so you can get your free 15 minutes of fame. And write your article that everybody has to talk about. Because all these feminists are going to back you no matter what. Because feminism is a fucking cult. And everybody else is going to fucking hate you. But whether the attention is positive or negative, you're getting fuckloads of it. Because you're a shit-stirring asshole. And a liar. So, welcome to yet another front on the war against social justice. That is anything but fucking justified. Thanks for watching.